Good afternoon out there. Here we are for the next roll reveal. This one is number 767. It's a 1950D plastic tubed roll that I've had for about 6 years. Going to dig into this baby and see what we've got. You'll see that I did skip one. And that one that I skipped was the 1941 Philadelphia roll. That's because I want to do it during prime time. I want to do it during the evening time because there are a bunch of people who may not be able to get to it during the day that would like to see it live. So we're going to be doing it tomorrow evening. The coin vault, I don't know. I haven't checked to see if your address has been updated. Number one to Ant. Ant gets coin number one. Let's see what is on coin number one. This particular tube could contain some really good goodies. So we're going to be really watching. There we go. Let me get a little brighter in here. A little more light on this subject. Got nothing on the obverse. Let's check the reverse. See if we got anywhere on the reverse of this one. Hello, Eric. Good day to you, Dan McCumber, James Valley, the Coin Vault, and Chu. All right, let's see. On this day of stock market suffrage, DC up next. Hey, there we go. Got a little split serifs RPM there. Nice little split serifs RPM, split upper and split lower. And that'll start our variety finding for this particular roll. You were up late with Frosty? Yeah, I was too for a while. Why he was broadcasting live during the middle of the night, but I thought, well, yeah, go see what's going on. I guess it's one way of drawing a crowd. People insomniacs and people stay up late want to see what's going on when you're broadcasting that late. I honestly I don't know. I can't tell you the coin vault. I I don't. After I put the flip inserts together, I don't even remember who I put in it. I did that based on when I created these little cards with your names, and other than what I see now, I don't know who's in it, who's not in it, and what's going on. I took care of that days ago. And of course, you know there's probably 20 people in this role, and I can't remember from one to the next who's in it and who's not. For you guys to remember everything, go back to the invoice that you paid for these and print a copy of that invoice. That way you'll know what rolls you're in and how many coins you have. What's up, Frosty? Oh, there's another double split serif RPM, and this one, it's beginning to look a little like Christmas, I guess. It's a little interesting that we've got that curve down there below the 9. I'll have to check that out and see what I think that is. It's not a die crack. A die crack would not be that soft in appearance. A die crack would be pretty heavy, pretty sharp edged. But this is another example of that double split serif RPM. So I'm going to have to find the last one because I forgot to pull it out. I don't remember which coin number it was. I think number 1. Let me go ahead and sleeve this one for Taco John. Get it set aside, and then we'll go back and we'll look at the other coins. And I promise I won't let it go this time. That's not it. It was number 2. Coin number 2. Yeah, that's it right there. Coin number 2 for DC. So now DC has one and Taco John has one. All in the first 4 coins. That's not bad, folks. Not bad. Got a wild hair last night. I bet you did. So, not very many people that broadcast after midnight live. Of course, it wasn't after midnight, I don't think, your time when you started. Okay, nothing on that side. Let's check the reverse. This one doesn't have the prettiest looking reverse. And there is no doubling. It's for Carl. The 59D and the 24D, that was a week or two ago. 2 weeks ago, I think. Farm Dog. This week is 1941 plane, 1950D, 1954D, 1955D, 1956D. Along with this is 41P, 50D, 54D, 55D, 56D. That's 5. That's what I have for this week. Hey, Eric, did you use PayPal to ship the coins? Because I got an invalid address for him. I got a house number only without a street. He sent me his street address, but I want it changed in PayPal so this doesn't continue. Well, there is a another double mint mark, another RPM. Little tiny. It looks like a possible little doubled eyelid. It worked for you. Okay, he may have changed the address in his PayPal. I'll have to go check it. Because when I tried to ship, it just gave me an invalid address. No way you can ship to a street that you don't know. Because I know the name of the street at this point, but that's not the overall issue. And Malcolm, if you're watching, Malcolm, I need you to change your address in PayPal too. Because it's still showing you living in Florida, and I know you don't. Every package I was supposed to send someone went out in the last 3 days, except for the Coin Vault and Malcolm. Both of them I had issues with the address. Paul Hampton. And that is another really minor split upper serif. You can see it, just a little tiny line on the top of the upper serif. Let's see the lower. The lower serif is doubled as well. It's not very obvious, but it's definitely there. Let me zoom in and show you in a little better real time here. Well, the Coin Vault, the issue isn't about PayPal as much as it is about your address being correct according to PayPal, so that I can get a guarantee that it will be delivered or I will be paid back. If I use an invalid address or an address that they say is invalid, you can see the split serifs on the bottom and then here on the top. They're not obvious at all. But I'm going to hold this one out and we're going to see. If I use an invalid address to ship an item, I have no recourse with PayPal if it's never delivered. I would only have recourse with the U.S. Postal Service, and I don't trust the U.S. Postal Service for anything. Ever at all. think the U.S. Postal Service is one of the most horrible excuses for a delivery service in the country. There is another one. I think this one matches Paul's example. Naya. What I would much rather do, CoinVault, is just go ahead and send you a manual shipment this time. But it's going to have to be changed so that we can continue to do business. You'll have to get... you don't have to put anything in a PayPal account to have a PayPal account. You just go in there and put your proper address and stuff in your PayPal account, and then you can use Venmo or whatever else it is you use to pay the PayPal invoice. Oh, Farm Dog. Yeah, I don't understand that. They won't allow you to log in unless paying an invoice. I don't see that. No. You register with the same email. I'm not a PayPal expert, but I've never seen a problem like what you're describing. All right, we've been through the first 10 coins and didn't find anything on the reverse, which is relatively normal, actually. RPMs seem to be the big talk of the town as far as 1950D is concerned. These are pretty nice coins. Got some pretty ones. Yeah, that would be a good idea, actually. James Valley says if you go to YouTube, you can find all kinds of videos about how to do things for PayPal. Just keep asking it questions in Google, and you will get AI returns, but you will probably find a good example of what you need to do. Oh, what you need to do is change your address with PayPal and get into your account and follow whatever steps you find for changing your address. I have had a business account for so long, I can't remember what personal accounts even look like. And, well, if I could remember, it would probably be something that has been abandoned since, because I haven't had a personal PayPal account since 2003. Here's one for Eric. Let's see what we get for Eric. Well, I got nothing on the mint mark. And it's just kind of fuzz under the L. It's not a bar L. There's one for Carl. That is one of the RPMs. It's kind of chewed up a little bit, but it is one of the RPMs. That's the one that has the die scratch between the lower 1 and 9 of the date there. Oh, this one's a little bit of a rim clip. There we go. That's just incomplete enough to flatten the rim right there. And if I flip it over, it'll be the same on the other side. So that's what that is. There was just barely not enough metal in that spot after the planchet was cut. The blank was cut and the planchet was rolled up. There just wasn't enough metal to totally fill in the rims there. And that's because it was just a slight bit flat, just a very slight bit flat. That's why we call it a rim clip. Just clip the rim. But that is interesting as it is. And here we go with Ant. Another coin for Ant. Let me get it up under the scope here. We've got nothing on the date mint mark area. Nothing on the eye. Nothing else on the obverse. Let's see. Do have some spots on these coins. Number 19 now for Alex. As once again, I am skipping a number. If you guys were watching for reveal number 766, it will be tomorrow evening. I've decided, because that roll is such an early roll and such a special roll, that we will do it during prime time so everyone can watch, and I can't do it this evening. So it will be tomorrow evening. Here's coin number 20 for Carl. Back to Carl. Got nothing there. Dan McCumber next. Dan, let's see what Dan gets. Nothing going on there. Let's see, DC. I'll check after this broadcast before I start the next one, because I have not checked today. But if he hasn't changed anything, it won't be any different for me. Carl? Carl's getting a lot of coins. This must be the one he signed up for, I think, 6 coins. Got nothing in a lot of these, though. 24 for Alex. Nothing there. And let's see. Still, okay, I've seen this die pair before. And there's nothing there. Taco John. Oh, it'll turn out to be another normal 1950D here. Mark. Nope. Nothing in the date mint neighborhood. And so we move on. Hello, Sand Digger. Sureg. Yeah, I literally got a two-digit number as an address. That was it. Can't deliver to a 2-digit number. All right, let me get this moved a little bit. Hang on just a second here. Find myself reaching very far for no reason. Okay, got one for Dan. Dan McCumber. Here next. It looks like the market is starting some recovery. It was down close to 2,100 points when I started this broadcast. Now it's down 1,750. Oh, never mind. It's going back to 18. That was one of the RPMs as well there for Dan. Stan Horn. Let's see what we got for Stan Horn here. That one's going to be a normal coin. I know this die well. All right. Special with coin number 30. How about number 31? Trip. Let's see what Trip gets. That's the same die. At least we're consistent. Nothing on that one. Let's see about number 32. This one for Sissy. I tell you what, folks, don't pay attention to the time on the broadcast out there for the next roll reveal. We'll get started about 10 minutes after I pull away from this particular show. This show will probably last until about 45 minutes after the hour. So the other one we'll be able to get started about 5 or 10 minutes after that. Coin number 33, here's Taco John. That's going to be a 1954 D roll. And it's going to be a 1954 D warning with some possible excitement. Possible. 54D is generally pretty nice to do. Silver's down to $29. $29.48. What was it, about $32 a couple of days ago? I wonder what made it drop so much. Usually it goes up when the market goes down. Wow, this is kind of an ugly coin right here. Looks like it has the measles. Kind of spotty. Sorry about that, Shinbone. Number 35. Going to Paul Hampton. Paul? Let's see. Yeah, not showing me anything there. Everybody running scared? I don't know. Business is literally crashing in front of our very eyes. I don't see any reason for anybody to be running. Right? I don't know, there might be some people who out there who say this is merely a correction. I don't think it's a correction. I think this is directly rooted back to fear over what the president is doing, which I'm still on the fence as to whether even that's a good decision. I can understand the idea of reciprocal tariffs. I don't know if it works. I guess I have to wait and find out. It's like everybody else. Walking Liberty. Are you talking about the American Silver Eagles? They're always a sound enough investment in silver. I don't particularly see any reason why necessarily spend additional money over silver price to get something that is guaranteed by a country that's falling apart. But my best bet would be go into pretty much anything silver that you can get at close to melt. Constitutional silver, privately minted bars, rounds, Elemental, Silvertown, MTB, any of that stuff. I mean, Eagles are fine, but I can't justify spending extra money just to get a bullion coin made by the United States. Well, it depends on how old getting old is. At a certain age, it's probably not a good idea to continue investing in long-term strategies. Gold and silver are more long-term because their ups and downs don't go up enough or down enough to really make a big difference day to day or month to month, unless you have purchased a half ton of the metal or ounces and ounces of gold. Need to have it where 1% of the value of the item is better than $2,000. That's something you can meagerly live on. But no, a person who is indeed and truly getting old would benefit more out of an aggressive mutual fund or something to that effect, I think. But I am not a financial advisor. I just wouldn't be putting my eggs in a silver basket if I were 80 years old. Of course, with it being, what, $29.48, under $30 an ounce right now, might be a really good time to buy. But I wouldn't plan on seeing it go above $32, $34 anytime soon. And if you're just buying a couple of ounces, you're talking about less than the value of a cup of Starbucks coffee. Which, that's another enigma. I have no idea how to comprehend or understand why anybody would pay $5 to $10 a cup for rock gut coffee when you can make it for less than 25 cents a cup at home. I think a lot of those luxury items that people tend to adjust themselves to be able to afford are going to go by the wayside. Oh, looky there. There's a nice RPM. Nice double split serif there. Oh, that's the first one again. That's Taco's. Taco got the first one in the roll, and now he's getting this one. So he's got two examples of that same RPM. That one is a normal coin. Shinbone. I mean, I can understand liking coffee. I like coffee, but I make my own. There's another one of them. Very nice. That's for Shinbone. I mean, I can understand liking coffee. I can understand drinking coffee. I just can't understand it at $5 a cup. That makes kind of 0 sense, you know. That last coin there was for Eric. I didn't really get much anything on there, but I did get a few RPMs in this roll. We're going to go through them here real quick and just show you the array of names. So there's DC, Taco, Shinbone, Roger, Carl, Paul, Stan, and Dan. Stan and Dan both got RPMs in this roll. That's going to do it for this particular reveal. I would invite you to go back out to the lobby and wait for, or actually go back into reveal number 768. Wait for me there, and I'll be there in just a few minutes. Thanks a lot, folks.